This is the only thing I want to be eating for lunch in 2025. Hello, welcome to Mickey's Kitchen. Today I will be making a delicious and healthy lunch that is both simple and a little dressed up. And that is chicken Milanese with the humble and often way too dry chicken breast. I will be showing you how to prepare it in a way that is both healthy, delicious, but also a little luxurious. So come a little closer and we will get started. The reason why I decided to make this recipe is because I love a breaded chicken cutlet, but it's not something that I often make. It's kind of a lot of work, and this recipe does a good job of just simplifying what is so pleasurable about breaded chicken cutlet, and it doesn't add anything else. There's no ridiculous red sauce. It's not like a chicken parmesan where you have a breaded chicken cutlet, but then you add all this hoo-ha to it. It's just a very simple cutlet that is treated with the respect of any cut of meat. It's individually pan fried and then dressed up with a beautiful, bright, and delicious arugula salad. And the thing that caught my eye about this recipe in the New York Times was that it had a little bit of Parmesan cheese mixed into the breadcrumb mixture. Now, this is real life, so I will not be using Parmesan cheese because Parmesan cheese, like any good cheese, is several dollars a pound. But what we did have lying around was some cheddar and I think a little bit of Gouda. So I know it's not quite the hard cheese that Parmesan is, but I think it'll still do the trick in terms of adding a bit more cheesy delight into our meal. So what I did here was just fillet this chicken breast. This was about a 16-ounce piece. So now we have two 8-ounce pieces of chicken breast, and I'm just going to pound it out a little bit. And again, this is real life, so that's why I'm pounding it out with the end of this knife. This is not expert recommended, but you know what? I don't have a meat mallet, so this is how we beat our meat today. And I'm just flat. Oh, shoot. Oopsies. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think this is the moment where I admit that I need a better tripod. As you can tell, I'm missing my producer today. So now that we've pounded it out as best as we could, I'm just gonna sprinkle it with a little bit of salt and a little bit of garlic pepper. All right, now our chicken prep is done. And now I'm going to prepare our cheese and breadcrumb mixture because we're gonna follow a 2-step breading process where we're gonna dip our beautiful cutlet in an egg wash, and then we're going to dip it into a breadcrumb mixture, and then the only thing left to do is fry it. And the funny thing about this cheddar is that it was actually from Florida. We purchased it in Florida when Emmett and I were staying with his family, and it was a snack. And didn't finish it, so we instead snuck it with us on the flight, and now it's here for us to eat. It's all the way from Florida. It is now here for us to cook our delicious chicken Milanese with. So now I'm just stirring up that mixture. I'm gonna add a little bit more garlic powder to it to season it, and a little more sea salt. There's salt in the cheese, so not too much. Most of this is eyeballing, but if you were more precise person, then you would measure this all out. But I will make sure to link the actual measurements in the description. Okay, next I'm just going to crack 1 egg for the egg wash mixture. And that looks pretty good to me. And now, this is the fun and tedious and probably the most annoying part of any chicken cutlet recipe, but we are in charge of our own thoughts. So I'm going to say this is the fun part instead of the annoying part. So I'm just going to use one hand to dip on both sides. Dip that in and let the excess egg drip off a little bit. Now, you don't want any excess egg because it'll clump up and make the whole thing a little bit more unpleasant during the frying experience. And now dip in this mixture, and the key to this is keep one hand clean so that your hands don't get all messy during the intensive breading process. So the easy thing about this recipe is that it's lunch, so I'm only using 2 pieces of chicken cutlet, but if you were scaling this recipe for a dinner for more than 2 people, then this tip of keeping one hand clean becomes especially important. I'm just gonna lay that there. Okay, so I actually didn't follow my own advice, and both my hands are dirty right now, but it's fine. I'll still try to keep to it in principle by reserving my right hand for this eggy business. Okay, I'm going, oopsies, gonna let the rest of it drip off and then back in. So I took another liberty of not including a flour step. The original recipe does call for dipping it in flour before the final breadcrumb. But the wonderful thing about the New York Times cooking app is they have a comment section. And the comment section is written by regular old Jane and Joes like you and I. It gives the regular people a voice because it tells you what it's actually like making a recipe like this in a home kitchen. And you know what? They say that steps like adding to flour are not necessary. And I'm not one to sign myself up for additional work, so they say it's unnecessary. I listen. Okay, we have a lot of extra breadcrumbs because the size of this recipe, so pile them all on. Yes. Luxuriate in the breadcrumbs. That's what I tell my chicken cutlet. All right. I think they're ready now, and I'm just going to prepare for frying now. Just heating up the pan with a neutral oil for frying. Mick got these absolutely beautiful plates. We went to a ramen restaurant in Long Island City, and the ramen was good, but what really left a point in our mind afterwards was these gorgeous tin plates with this speckling. So he hunted down the brand that made them. They're sold on Amazon, but he ended up finding a set of 2 for $30 on Amazon, and they're just such a joy to eat and prepare food with. I highly recommend the life of a tinned plate owner. Okay, I think this is ready now. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit hot. So I'm just going to bread one at a time. Ooh! Dropped it. Oopsies. Okay. Actually, this pan is big, so we can do 2 at a time. And when you're placing stuff in a pan and there's a lot of oil, you always want to place it away from you. So if there's any oil splash, it'll go towards the wall instead of towards you. And we're just going to let it cook for 2 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So for work, I got this timer. I can do work in intervals of 30 or 45 or an hour, and having the visual is really comforting and pleasing to me. So I'm just gonna use it now, set 3 minutes on each side before flipping the chicken. All right, time to flip. Start with this one. Ooh. So you can see it's nice and crispy there, but it does need a little bit more time to cook through. So I'm just going to lower the oil a little bit. And then instead of doing 3 minutes, I'll probably cook it for 4 minutes on this side. While the chicken cooks, I'm just going to make the arugula salad that it comes with. Salad is just gonna be a couple of handfuls of arugula, and then the recipe calls for lemon. I don't have a lemon, only a lime, and my only knife is dirty with chicken juices, so I'm just gonna use a butter knife to cut the lime. Oh my gosh, that was quite difficult, guys. Okay, just gonna squeeze some lime over this, and then some more cheddar cheese, a little salt, oh, a little pepper, and then a little glug of nice olive oil. And now you have your simple salad all ready for your chicken. And the salad was super, super fast to make. The alarm just went off, and now our chicken should be close to ready. Let's see. I'm just going to flip this a little bit more. But oh yeah, look at that deliciousness. I think it's ready. All right, so my final verdict on this is that it is really good. The chicken is perfectly cooked, nice and crispy. Cheddar cheese, I was a little bit nervous about at first, but it turned out to be a really nice addition. And I think you can swap in any cheese. It doesn't just have to be Parmesan. It doesn't just have to be cheddar. And then the acidity with the salad is really delightful. This is actually the perfect lunch for the new year. I think as my second recipe of the year, this was a huge, huge success. It is high in protein, really acidic and fresh, very easy to make, and it's the perfect lunch to jumpstart your new year and just feel a little bit fancier in 2025 and show yourself a little bit of love with a delicious home-cooked lunch.